Now let's talk about our next topic, which is access modifiers. What is access modifiers? Access modifiers in Java are used to define the scope for classes, methods, or variables or data members. So if you want to restrict your properties of class or methods of class or even class to access outside the scope, then you can use appropriate access modifiers to prevent their access outside their scope. We have total four type of access modifiers: default, private, protected, and public. You can use these access modifiers for a class just before class keyword, for a method just before data type or return type of the method in a method signature, and for a variable just before the data type in variable declaration. Always remember that we don't have any keyword to declare default access modifier, which means that if you are not defining any access modifier in private, protected, or public, then by default access modifier will be considered as a default. Now, before we start learning the scope of these different access modifiers, there is some prerequisite information that you must need to know. Information number one, that is, I already taught you that one class properties and functionalities can be accessed in another class by two ways. One is inheritance, another is association. That is information number one you should know before you use access modifiers. The information number two is, within a package, all classes are directly accessible to each other, but outside the package, you have to use import statement to import that one package to another package. Then only one package classes will be available or accessible to other package. This is information number two you should know before you use access modifiers. Let's try to understand access modifiers by using this chart. In this chart, on every column, I have mentioned the different access modifiers names, and in left hand side, you will find some of the different use cases. We will try to understand for different use cases what will be the behavior of different access modifiers. For example, first use case is same class, when you try to access properties and functionality of a class within the same class. Second is same package subclass, means within same package but in subclass, means using inheritance within a package you want to access properties of a class into another class. Same package non-subclass. Non-subclass means using association you want to access one class properties into another class but both classes are in same package. Then different package subclass means in other package you want to access properties and functionality of a class but using inheritance. And then last one is different package non subclass, means different package you want to use association. In simple words, I can say that same class means within a same class you want to access properties. Same package subclass means using inheritance within same package, using association within same package, using inheritance outside the package, using association outside the package. Now let me explain you these access modifiers behavior based on this chart. Let's start with default. If you are making properties and functionality of a class as default, then within same class those will be directly accessible. Within same package by using inheritance or association, those properties and functionalities will be directly accessible. But outside the package, either by inheritance or association, you cannot access those properties and functionalities. If you are making properties and functionality of a class as private, then within the same class you can access them, but outside the class by using inheritance or association or outside the package you cannot access those properties at all. Means making the properties and functionality private will prevent the access of those properties and functionalities outside the class in any case. Now, if you are making properties and functionalities as protected, then those will be accessible within same class, within same package by using inheritance or association. Even outside the package as well, those will be accessible, but by using inheritance only. Those will not be accessed outside the package by using association. So based on this chart, I can say that public is having maximum scope of accessibility, private is having minimum one, protected is lesser than public, and default is also lesser than protected. So increasing order will be private is minimum one, default is better than private, then protected, and then public is having maximum scope. One last thing, these rules that I explained are only applicable for properties, for methods, or for constructors. Always remember class can only be either public or default. You cannot make class private or protected. Default means the class will be accessible within a package anywhere, and outside the package, if you want to access them, you have to make the class public.